Ati former kwaba ba daily update TV message na ba platform ni so subscribe na hit adoma so drop in the latest news bi abajebre na so nsa etimi akabi na me bobra ensem no mudia na geze eneda heat pa di heat e parliament ni nyina ye mobeka ya Mensa insensem electoral commission sensemi Ablekuma no for sensem be see now resource kwa intimi declare na NDC Roxin Dafeamekpor no ati for wa crash eye Mensa ne NPP MPC ne pa to say this time no tension about parliament no yemongro na yehwe nema etimi ekoso hobi
directed at the head of an independent constitutional body, in this case in pursuance of Order 79, i.e. the Electoral Commission. Speaker, but a letter came from the Electoral Commission to this House, indicating that the Electoral Commissioner is unavoidably absent from the jurisdiction, and therefore the Deputy Commissioner will be available to respond to the questions. But Speaker, that will be in breach of Order 79. And Speaker, with your leave, let me read Order 79. Speaker, Order 79 is headed Response to Question by Heads of Independent Constitutional Bodies. A question asked of the head of an independent constitutional body shall be responded to at the Committee of the Whole. Speaker, the rule hasn't relaxed and provided for that in the absence of the head of the independent constitutional body, a deputy will answer to the question. So I am amenable to rescheduling these two questions to abide the coming of the substantive head, so we can deal with the matters, the subject of these two questions, Mr. Speaker. So on these terms and on this note, I want to pray that the two questions be deferred to a later date when we have firm dates of the availability of the Honorable Electoral Commissioner of the Republic of Ghana to respond to these matters. Speaker, I thank you.
Honorable Head, hold on. Let me find out. I'm coming. So when we file a question to ministers of state, I'll come to you, Honorable Habib. When we file a question to a minister of state, do we specify that only the minister should come and answer questions? Don't we have instances where deputy ministers come to the House to answer questions for and on behalf of their substantive ministers?
Speaker, our rule provides that in the absence of the ministers, the deputies will respond to questions. In fact,
can you,
Mr. Speaker,
help us?
And by practice, we allow deputy ministers to respond to questions. This is our new standing orders. And the rules are very clear under Order 79. You cannot enlarge the interpretation of this provision to include the deputies. It is for a reason. That is why for the first time, please, Habib, please. These are very serious matters. Mr. Speaker, nobody, no member on this floor should urge on you an enlargement in terms of interpretation of the matters clearly stated under Order 79 to include deputies. So there are three deputies or two deputies. Which of them do we speak of? So that is why the rule says heads of independent constitutional bodies. Heads. Not if this House intended their deputies to have a say, or to have a presence on the floor and respond to the matters, we could have said the heads or their deputies. So, on this note, Mr. Speaker, I don't think that we should litigate this matter. It does not open itself for any enlargement. Indeed, if we go to the interpretation section, Mr. Speaker, which is order 6, independent constitutional bodies means supranational legislative bodies established Mr. Speaker, my apologies. Mr. Speaker, independent constitutional bodies include the Electoral Commission, Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, National Commission for Civic Education, National Media Commission, Office of the Administrator of the District Assembly's Common Fund, Office of the Auditor General, Bank of Ghana, and other bodies established to have exclusive jurisdiction in the performance of assigned functions. So, for instance, if I direct, by any attempt to enlarge the meaning of this provision, if I direct a question at the administrator of the common fund, he has no deputies. Who would then come and respond to it if we accommodate such interpretation? Mr. Speaker, so the heads are the heads. And the head of an independent constitutional body is qua the head. The deputies are not permissible under this provision. Mr. Speaker, I believe that we can make progress.
Let me listen.
I thank you for the opportunity.
Let me listen to the.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think the majority chief whip, in reading order 79, did not avert his mind to order 88.6. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I read order 88.6. I'll start from 5 and then to 6. Mr. Speaker, order 88.5 says, the answer to the question shall be read by the minister, member, or head of the independent constitutional body to whom the question is directed. Mr. Speaker, and 6, which I emphasize, says that in the absence of the minister, member, or head of an independent constitutional body whom the question is directed, the speaker may an authorized person to respond to the question. So completely what the majority chief whip is completely out of place. It is within our orders that the deputies of the head of independent constitutional body, which he rightly interpreted under order 6. If you go to order 6, Mr. Speaker, on page 5 of our rules, they define what an independent, page 4, independent constitutional body to include the Electoral Commission. And Mr. Speaker, in this case, we are not dealing with the head of DACF, where you will say that it doesn't have a deputy. We are dealing with Electoral Commission specifically. And our rules under 88.6 mention the head of the independent constitutional body. So they are here. They are here to answer the question. And Mr. Speaker, it doesn't lie on him or me to dictate who should answer the question. The rules is clear, and the rule says that if the head is not there. Mr. Speaker, and I want to appeal to my colleague, the majority chief whip, that we are trading on a very dangerous ground, because the order that gives deputy ministers the opportunity to respond to questions in the absence of their deputies is the same thing that gives birth to the independent constitutional body if they also have to respond to questions. So if we deny the deputies of the independent constitutional body, in this case the Electoral Commission, to answer questions, it implies that no deputy minister can come to this chamber to answer questions on his behalf of his minister. So, Mr. Speaker, I so submit that my colleague, the one who is going to ask the question, should allow you to invite the deputy heads at the Electoral Commission to answer questions he rightfully filed. If it is the case that you don't want to, you are running away from your questions, that's fine. But if you are not running away from the questions, allow them to ask the questions, and then we can make progress. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Well.
Mr. Speaker, the rule is very clear. It says may. The may is suggestive of the fact that there is no opposition. There's no opposition. Mr. Speaker, I am in my 10th year in this house. They have denied the deputy minister from responding to a question when they protested. So when there's no protestation, please. I listen to you in quietude. When there's no protestation, I insist that the head must appear. It is my question. There are reasons why we are asking the head to come and respond to matters of policy.
Honorable, please. I'm saying, let's keep quiet.
Why?
Don't sit there and say no. Yes.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the provision under 88 permit you to allow the deputy to respond to the questions if the sponsor of the question does not protest. I am protesting that I want the substantive head to appear. When that is done, how would the speaker permit that to be done? The speaker may. That is without protestation. But I insist that for very, very good reasons, Mr. Speaker, there are some matters that will be raising that the deputy who is not the head may not be able to respond to. So these are very, very serious, especially when statutes and the Constitution makes the head the only returning officer in the presidential elections results that took place in that constituency in question. Because my follow-up questions will be tied to the outcome of the presidential results in the same constituency that the parliamentary results took place. The deputy cannot respond to those matters. So there are very, very good reasons why we want the lady herself, the electoral commissioner of the Republic of Ghana. This chamber is a common theft for her. She appears here often when it's needed. So if she's unwell, it is fine. But we will abide her coming to come and respond to the matter. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, my ruling is that if the owner of the question decides that he wouldn't ask the question, then he has to withdraw the question. Honourable members, he has to withdraw the question. Once the question appears on the order paper, Parliament seizes ownership of the question. And under the circumstances, we might be walking on a slippery slope, in the sense that with this discussion going on, it will imply that if a minister of state is unable to come and respond to any question, this House or other side may protest that no deputy minister of state is allowed to do or perform that function. So under the circumstance, my ruling is that if the deputy minister has come, deputy director has come to answer the questions, I may allow him to respond to the question, unless the owner of the question decides that he's withdrawing the question. If he withdraws the question, then the question will not be tabled for the deputy director to answer. But other than that, deputy director is capable of answering the question. So this is my ruling. Once the deputy director is here, I don't think he's coming to tell us that he's not able to answer the questions. So if he's here, I will have to give him the opportunity. Unless the owner of the question tells me that he's withdrawing the question, then we'll take it from there.
Mr. Speaker, I intend not to challenge your ruling, but I also intend not to withdraw the questions. I will not withdraw the questions. So now I am compelled to ask the questions. So it should come and feature. I'm ready.
Very well. The Deputy Director of the Electoral Commission is supposed to be a committee of the whole. So